X.
And for 8 years, and he fucking did it. There are monsters amongst us and they look like us. If you are sick of the narrative that is currently going on about men, feel free to change it, but you have to get involved. Don't make the same mistake I did for years, which was just sitting back and be like, well, I'm not part of the problem, therefore I must be part of the solution. Because that's just not how this fucking shit works. I believe, and deep down I know that most men are good. Of course we are. But when 1 in 10 men are shit and the other 9 do nothing, they might as well not fucking be there. Being good on the inside counts for absolutely fuck all. You have to actively be good and get involved. Instead of having this fucking hero complex of being like, I'm gonna beat up a rapist, fucking prevent one, stop one, because I know it can be done, because I know how I fucking failed at it. Because if I'm being 100% honest with myself, were there signs in my friend's behavior over the years towards women that I ignored? The answer is yes. And then he raped my friend, and that's on me until the day I die. Talk.
Damn. Wait, did they used to be friends? Yeah, why don't we go over the Russell Brand allegations? I've heard, I haven't read, I've heard some quite disturbing allegations here. Really? Really? Oh, an hour ago. Good. Cat! Cat? They have been hiding. I have been cleaning the apartment up until about an hour ago. So they have been hiding. So I'm glad they're finally coming out. Oh, I remember this hairdo. Oh, old Russell Brand. Russell Brand. I can't believe he landed Katy Perry. Weren't they even married at some point, I believe? This. What is this? What was he thinking? Like, he has a messiah complex. Like, he has a messiah complex. That's for sure. Here. How did he land her? She got out. She got out. What? Rihanna breaks her silence on dating Russell Brand after star accused of rape and sexual assault. More and more people are gonna come out. This is gonna be a new Me Too movement. I feel like, because it seems like he has been like abusing everyone. Oh right, and there was one more. There's an old article. Go to site. There's an old article that. Oh, thank you. I'll absolutely look at that. But I need to look at something else first, because there's an old article that I want to read from, and it doesn't name him, and that's the thing. It doesn't name him specifically. It's from a female British comedian. Female British comedians. Catherine Ryan. There we go. No. I like her. I like Catherine. Article. Oh, things are moving. Russell Brand's wife, Laura, deletes Instagram account as she denies serious allegations. Mm-hmm. Here. This is... I wanted the original. Give me the original. It's an old article. Let's go... Article 6, pest. And let's do... tools. Let's go to 2000. Sexual harassment. Why can't I find the original? Fine, we're gonna do the this one then. Catherine Ryan has previously revealed she confronted a colleague on a popular TV program as she thinks he is a sexual predator. Speaking on her Amazon Prime series titled Backstage with Catherine Ryan, the comic revealed she called out the worker in front of other staff members from the show. She was speaking to fellow comedian Sarah Pascoe on the show and agreed that she too is aware of the man's identity. So they were being very coy about who they were talking about, but it seems like everyone in the industry was always aware of all of this. This is nothing that is apparently new to anyone in the industry. Catherine, who has appeared on a number of hit shows such as Nevermind the Bollocks, 8 out of 10 Cats, Mock the Week, and Have I Got News for You, admitted she wasn't sure what she should have done originally. She said, "I've thought about that, but it's such a messy thing because I don't have proof. What am I supposed to feed my children because what? A lot of whats. But it's such a messy thing because I don't have proof. What? Am I not supposed to feed... Okay, what? Am I not supposed to feed my children because of someone else?" She has a point there. I don't blame any woman who has been scared of coming out, especially within the industry, especially against Russell Brand. I do not blame anyone who has not stepped forward yet. Now, it's free for all. Just air it all out. Just come on out. I know it's going to be hard. I know it's going to be tough. I know you're going to get shit from a lot of chuds, but it's time. You have to, if we do not openly discuss these things, and if we do not openly talk about what these men, and sometimes women, let's be honest, do, how are we supposed to be able to pick out the pattern that we can look out for in the future? Sarah responds, also, in that instance that you're referencing it was about erasing it, to which Catherine replied, I erased it. I called him a predator to his face and in front of everyone every day. Whew. The balls. Seriously. The shocking discussion continued and Sarah revealed she had once reported a male celebrity to a TV channel after a viewer had told her that they had been raped by the man. Yeah. She said, have you ever done a job and then someone contacted you and said, that's my rapist? No, I haven't. No, I can honestly say I haven't. I had it on a job recently where I've had to go to the channel, and it's that whole thing because you feel such a sense of responsibility, but you also want it to be dealt with. Well, it's so complicated. And I don't want to say I don't blame the studios because they are part of the problem, of course. But I can understand a low-level executive not feeling like he has the power to just freely dismiss a superstar like Russell Brand was at the time. Seriously, he was massive. But the higher ups, yeah, they are, and it creates a culture and yada yada yada. I know all that, but it is a hard thing to be the lone voice of reason to, you know. So I commend Catherine for being that lone voice in this industry. It seems Catherine's claim follow on from other allegations made by celebs about sexual predators. Other stars have made similar claims, including Gwyneth Paltrow, and Cara, whoever. Who are you? Oh, her. How do we pronounce that? I have no idea. Both of whom have spoken out about their experiences of abuse by a disgraced film producer Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, but that's old news, so to say, so to speak. The shame mogul was sentenced to an additional 16 years of rape in February this year. He will serve the punishment after he has served his 23-year term, which was imposed in 2020. He was found guilty of rape, forced oral copulation, and sexual penetration by foreign object involving a woman known as Jane Doe 1 after a trial in December. The woman said the incident happened after Weinstein. Okay, this is about Weinstein now. That's like, it's old news, but I mean, it's I'm not gonna skip that. Adjure men, Weinstein. Okay, so it's just Weinstein after that. So Catherine seems to have been screaming about this for years by now, a decade perhaps. Who knows? It's been an open secret, in other words. So nothing here should come as a surprise to Russell Brand, who got "you're a fucking rapist, a sex pest, a predator" to his face from Catherine years ago already. Hello, Kat. And now the chuds, the whole right-wing manosphere, is circling the wagon and just like protecting themselves, you know? Someone said it, and I've thought the same previously. If only Harvey Weinstein, who cares? The pudding pop, what is his name? Cosby, and Epstein. If all those three just came out and made a sharp right-wing turn weeks prior to being accused, they absolutely would have had supporters to this day defending them 100%. My washer is just finished. Awesome. So yeah, 100% would they have been defended by Musk sycophants and the like, you know. Russell Brand, Elon Musk, and Andrew Tate join fans reacting to allegations after comic performs on stage in London. The comedian has been accused of rape, sexual assaults, and emotional abuse in a Sunday Times and Channel 4 Dispatch investigation. Allegations ignite. Let's just look at the allegations before we do anything else. Because I heard one very disturbing allegation. The modern news cycle is what about my? I'll come to it. I just want to lay the groundworks first. That's it. I want to lay the groundwork. Because this is very interesting. I agree. I want to read that. Don't worry. We're getting to it. The modern news cycle is brutally quick. On Thursday and Friday, the 90-minute special episode of Channel 4's investigative documentary strand, Dispatches, which was to air on Saturday night, was trending on social media because of the mystery around it. Channel 4 had declined to offer any information about what it contained. But by the time it did air, we knew exactly what it contained. The program is a collaboration between Dispatches and the Sunday Times, and as happened often when a TV show and a newspaper mount a joint investigation, the newspaper went public first. With the online print, can I find the Channel 4 and what is it, Sunday Times? The Sunday Times. So that is which I can't read. Okay. With the online print version published a few hours before broadcast, many viewers found themselves in the unusual position of watching a documentary having already read its key allegations. Those allegations are that the comedian turned political commentator and the wellness guru Russell Brand. Wellness guru? Russell Brand? There is no chance in fucking hell that he hasn't been coked up from day one, you know? Russell Brand has a history of abusive interactions with women. One woman alleges he raped her. Another says he seriously sexually assaulted her at the end of a relationship that began when she was 16 and he was 31. A third claims physical abuse and sexual assault. As well as the allegations of being known, I don't think that's illegal I know it's not illegal in Sweden. I don't think it's illegal in the UK either. Can still be disturbing. And the reasons why it's not illegal isn't so that 31-year-olds should seek out 16-year-old girls. It's because 16-year-old girls and 16-year-old boys might lie about their age and might be predatory towards you necessarily, but, you know, seek a relationship with you. It's like, but yeah, but the law then is abused in various ways. As well as the allegations being known, by the time of broadcast, Brand's denial was also out there. On Friday night, Brand outed himself as a target of the investigation, releasing a video made for his millions of social media followers. He talked of some very serious allegations that I absolutely refute. Russell Brand.
Of course, the reason we're so excited
he's
today
not
is
got
because
he
we're
doesn't have a messiah complex. No.
Hello there, you're
And there's just one thing I wanna highlight here in this video.
Mainstream media narratives, extremely egregious and aggressive attacks, as well as some pretty stupid stuff like my community festival should be stopped, that I shouldn't be able to attack mainstream media narratives on this channel. But amidst this litany of astonishing, rather baroque refute, amidst this litany of astonishing, rather baroque attacks are some very serious allegations that I absolutely refute.
Absolutely refute. What is this hand gesture?
These allegations...
I don't trust you if you start to refute allegations with your hand gestures all over the room, you know?
Allegations pertain to the time when I was working in the mainstream, when I was in the newspapers all the time, when I was in the movies, and as I've written...
Oh, you mean when you had power?
...written about extensively in my books, I was very, very promiscuous. Now, during that time...
Oh, you were very promiscuous, you mean? Back then when you had power.
...of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual.
There.
During that time of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual.
What was cut is the interesting part. I'm not the first one. Everyone saw it, but not everyone perhaps, but many people, including myself, when I watched this the first time by myself, I didn't think twice of it because I didn't think of it like it's a stutter. It's like a. But they tried to really.
In that time of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual.
Like, what did he say there? What is cut out? Release the Snyder cut, okay? Release the Snyder cut. Release the rape cut. That's the That's the tagline. Released a rape cut. As well as allegations being known, by the time of broadcast, Brand's denial was also out there. On Friday night, Brand outed himself as target investigation, releasing a video made for his millions of social media followers. He talked of some very serious allegations and absolutely refute, insisting that the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual. He speculated about coordinated media attacks with another agenda at play. It's always the same. It's always Musk did the same thing, didn't he? Musk, ahead of allegations refutation. Can we get that? Oh, 6-word reply. Okay, we'll do that later after Donald Trump. But yeah, I believe Musk also, like, ahead of the horse story. He's like, the media is out to get me. And I believe that's where the real right-wing shift happened, wasn't it? Like, we could see the dial being turned in his head. Coordinate me as with another. This garnered him support from thousands of his existing followers and new allies with an interest in self-identifying as brave media disruptors. Several GB News presenters posted on social media appearing to take his side. GB News presenters? Great British News presenter? Is that GB News? What is this? It's a British news organization. Oh, they're just like an online thing. That's it. Hello, cat. Okay, who cares? Oh no, no. The British right wing online Fox GB Glass. Mm-hmm. But you have no idea how fucking big this is. Like, it started in Sweden, but it's now parent companies Unilever, of course, like everything else, and global. There's like a I saw an image of a lot of different But hey, okay, good humor. Let's do you see here? Do you see there? The heart? Like, I believe this is like I think it's British. There's like you can go around the world and you'll see this heart and you'll know that's GB Glass. It's incredible. I had no idea until like a few weeks ago. Where's they buy up local producers and they adapt their logos to the GB Glass logo. But yeah, I agree. Where's the fucking clown? The clown is essential for the brand. Speaking of brand, so with its allegations and the alleged predators' denial already known about, and even the culture war battle lines around it already drawn, what currency does Russell Brand in plain sight have? Plenty, as well as organizing deeply harrowing testimony into a cogent narrative. The Dispatch's film places the women's claim into a wider context within the industry and our culture as a whole, pinpointing a collective culpability that resonates well beyond whatever one man might have done. The allegations themselves are disturbing enough, being able to see and hear words spoken even by anonymized interviewees, filmed in silhouette or in one case replaced by an actor. Damn, you really don't want to be known. Lends every awful detail alleged a piercing immediacy. Surrounding the interviews are the words of Brand himself. On stage, TV, and radio, even in the best case scenario for Brand, the one in which all these specific independent accusations turn out to be false. We view him as a sleazy sexist creep because he has told us. What? Surrounding the interview are the words of Brand himself on stage, TV, and radio. Oh, right. There's been there's old bits of his that are quite creepy. Like he he called an emergency rape line set up by the police as a prank. Like, I remember phone pranks when I was young, usually by radio shows. And they call one pizzeria and call the other pizzeria and then just connect the lines, you know? Or in the case of when we were entering the EU, I don't know if you'll remember this or even know about it, but they called, because the state set up a hotline that you can call to ask questions about what will our EU membership entail. And they called and asked, we've heard that if we enter the EU, we'll get 10,000 German gays here. And the woman on the other lines go, well, I mean, they're allowed to come here. Well, will they be sent here, though? No, there's no... Are you sure? I've heard 10,000 German gay people will come here as soon as, like, stuff like that. And these people are so cordial because they're paid to be. They're paid to be friendly to the people who are calling with their concerns. And they are paid to, like, explain in a calm and very matter-of-fact voice that, no, we are not going to be invaded by gay Germans when we join the EU. You know, stuff like... So, calling a rape hotline? Like, why don't you just call 911? Just call 911 or 112 in Britain, I believe, as well. Don't just do it if you're gonna be that stupid, okay? Don't be afraid of your own sexuality. We see him tell a guest on his chat show in a clip dug up by Dispatch. Is it by Dispatches? It's a weird name in my opinion. Do be a bit afraid of mine though. Oh. During an interview on Conan O'Brien's US talk show, Brand told the host, "You don't want to be around when the laughter stops." Can I watch this? Is this copyright, perhaps? Are they going to take it down? Maybe. Ooh.
Ice cream, or perhaps a delicious nut,
A
which
nut?
is how I think of you.
What kind of ice cream?
One of them ones where it's got like sort of caramel melted in it, and it's like got some dark milk chocolate and like vanilla, and then caramel in the middle. I think it's called Karma Sutra or Caramel Sutra. I believe it's available from Ben & Jerry's. Other ice creams are available.
Wait, what did you say there?
Caramel Sutra. I believe it's available from Ben &
Ben & Jerry's.
Other ice creams are available.
So you got a thing against Breyers? That's fine. That's fine.
I don't agree with bias against ice creams. We are all equal in the ice cream world.
And see, we talk of world peace in this interview.
Physical
Thank
contact
you.
there.
I didn't find that too creepy. Like, that's like a mild sexual reference. Like, if all the allegations weren't around, what is this from? 10 years ago, though. Like, he's been creepy for a while here. But I don't think that's really creepy. Like, he is talking about like ice cream, and there's an ice cream called Kama Sutra or Caramel Sutra. That's fine. That's a fine, mild, salacious joke.
Bothered? Narina's favorite things are red wine
Like, do you see the hair? What is with the hair?
and chocolate. But say that you had to join an army and either fight for the red wine.
So what Russell Brand realized early on in his career, I believe, is that A, he's good looking. There's no denying that. B, if he stands out a bit with the hair, people will take notice of him and they'll ignore the hair if it's a bit funny. And he is a bit funny. But he realized also that humor not 90%, but a large portion of being funny is being able to make a fool of yourself. Allowing yourself to be a fool. And he plays the fool perfectly. Like, listen to the voice. This isn't funny. It's awkward. And if you're in the audience, if you're a guest here, you're gonna laugh due to awkwardness.
Things are red wine and chocolate.
That's not funny. Why are people laughing? It's awkward. But he's good looking, so he gets away with it.
But say that you had to join an army and either fight for the red wine side or the chocolate side. Which army would you join?
Be the red wine.
You'd be in the red wine side because they'd be much more confident, wouldn't they? They'll be pissed. Go, get in! Chocolate, and all the chocolate was going to put the weight on. Oh no! But hold on, what about if the red wine side tortured their prisoners and then you found that they released videos of the red wine army weeing on members of the chocolate army? Would you not then feel a bit ashamed?
No.
Like, it's not funny. He's just like... He's just taking it to the extreme. That's all he's doing.
Do you,
Oh, and where's the clown? You're looking at the clown
do you
right now.
think of this stuff in the middle of the night and then save it?
Boom.
I make it up in the
As
moment.
you go.
Incredible gift.
Fucking brilliant. And then save it.
Would you not then feel a bit ashamed?
No, do you think of this stuff in the middle of the night and then save it?
I make it up in the
As you
moment.
go.
Incredible gift.
Fucking brilliant.
Wait. Hold on. Hold on. What? I can't tell if she's actually impressed or not, or if she's just trying to sidestep the issue. Because this isn't... Do I have a pimple here? Looks like I have a pimple here. God damn. To me, this is not impressive. At all. Is it... Like, I do this in my head all the time. I just keep my mouth shut. Is this what I should have done 10 years ago? Should I have been born 10 years earlier and just done this? Really? Should I have been more attractive? Should I have had less weight? Maybe I would have gotten away with it, you know? I don't know. This is not impressive to me. This is just standard. This is 10 minutes after I wake up. I'll be doing this in my head all the time.
So it's paying the bill. I make it up in the
As
moment.
you go.
Incredible gift.
Fucking brilliant.
I think she's actually impressed. You see that bite? Guys, if you ever see this, you're in. Don't be Russell Brand. Don't be in already. Don't assume you can just enter immediately, you know. Take your time, build up, but if you see this sign, if you see that while she's looking at you smiling, which of course you're doing if you're doing this, she wants you, okay? But don't be Russell Brand and just skip a barrier, okay? Just take your time.
So it's paying the bills. So
But again, yes, okay. Here's why it's a bit creepy. It reveals his thought process. It reveals where his mind goes. Sexual jokes are easy money. I used to do stand-up comedy. I've thought about doing it again, but I live in a small town, so it's not that much opportunity to train on a new audience. But you know, it's I've contemplated returning to stand-up comedy. Sexual jokes are what everyone starts out with, and when I was at uni, my first year, we started a stand-up comedy group or whatever you want to call it. Just me and a friend, we realized, we've both done stand-up comedy. Why don't we continue doing stand-up comedy at the uni? And we trained other classmates and acquaintances and stuff like that who are interested in doing stand-up comedy. And the one thing that I said, feel free to do the sexual jokes there, but remember, they are a crutch. They're an absolute crutch, and you should get rid of them as soon as possible. If you want to throw in one here, one there, if you have an amazing sexual joke, if you like an observation you've noticed after a sexual encounter with a mate, go do it. Have fun. But try to stay away from them. They will hamper your development immediately. But for Russell Brand, it's probably the only area that he could talk about confidently. Because I've heard him talk about other things, and I'm not impressed.
Someone is ovulating near here.
Like,
You can just sense that. You have that. That's your.
We all can, but I know how to do it still. I can remember it.
That's like you're a man slut.
Hold on a minute. That's pejorative.
There's an award named.
Hold on a minute. That's pejorative.
There's an award named after you.
There is actually.
Serial shagger. The Russell Brand serial shagger.
the Russell Brand serial shagger.
Award.
Yes, that is actually true, but that's on the basis of an incident that happened in a supermarket aisle with me and some Frosties.
Ignoring the allegations once more. That's a fine joke. That's a fine joke. There's a someone named you're a prolific fucker, and someone names an award after you, and you want to deflect from it. Great joke to do. It's not about women. It's about cereal. You know, you're a cereal shagger, not a serial shagger. It's a fine joke. It's a good joke. It's a good way to deflect from the sexual. Actually, deflect from the sexual implications of it, even because you're again making a fool of yourself.
Okay, so you're not a shagger at all.
Well, I've shagged cereal. Honey Monster, he got some. That chicken on the front of the cornflake box, I messed him up pretty bad. Snap, Crackle and Pop, I wanked, diddled and fucked all three of those guys. And frankly, Cocoa Pops, the milk goes chocolatey for a number of reasons.
That's a fine joke. That's a good joke, even if you remove it from the context of being Russell Brand. Anyway, okay, so we've seen the issue isn't the individual jokes. The issue is the context of the allegations and the amount of it. Don't be afraid to when the laugh. Yeah, you don't want to be around when the laugh stops. That's not good. One old stand-up routine joking about enjoying them blowjobs where mascara runs a little bit. Spookily echoes the exact words of one of the program's allegations. Yeah, this is what the allegation that I found. Because if this is consensual, this is consensual. There's no issue here. You both enjoy it. The cat. You both enjoy it. The woman is submissive and wants to be railed by you and felt like she is an object of your desire. It's fine. When it's not consensual, now we have an issue. The title In Plain Sight has been carefully chosen. Dispatches has found further evidence of Brand not hiding his misogyny, drawn from the same stint as a oh, okay, they're not going into this more. The allegations here is apparently due to apparently from this woman. And she said it happened when she was 16 years old. And she did not want it. But he was a big movie star. He was a massive movie star. He had the pick of the litter as he wants. Can I help you? Drawn from the same stint as a Radio 2 presenter that led to his biggest previous controversy in 2008 when he was fired for broadcasting crass voicemails he left for the actor Andrew Sachs. Andrew Sachs? Who is Andrew Sachs? I remember I've seen him, but I have no idea who he is. What's this? And upset my granddad. Like it's everything. Oh, hello. Yeah, there's the radio show. In retrospect, it's amazing Brand lasted as long as he did. Dispatches plays the audio of him making demanding sexual remarks about his show's female newsreader and conducting an interview with a celebrity guest where he joked about sending his named female assistant to visit the star. Stripped naked. The interviewee in question, Jimmy Savile. I recognize that name. Oh, damn! That's not good. This guy was a child predator, for anyone who doesn't know. And I mean, how can't you know? Like, he looks like it. Guys, this is what happens when you're a pedo, okay? This is how you age. This is what you look like when you're an old... After you fucked 100 kids. Maybe even one kid, you know? For every kid you fuck, your soul starts to show a bit more on the face, you know? Seriously. How can you allow this man to exist in your society? Seriously. Oh, Louis. Oh, Louis. Why? God damn it. Oh, sorry. I wanted to listen to the... Here.
It'd be very nice to meet you one day, Mr. Jimmy Savile.
No. What?
I mean, I have one
Can
day, Mr. Jimmy Savile, just, you know.
If you've got a sister, you could meet me by bringing her along.
I mean, I haven't got any sisters, but...
I don't usually meet fellas, but if you've got a sister, that's okay.
I've got a personal assistant called... And part of her job description is that anyone I demand she greets, meets, massages, she has to do it. She's very attractive, Jimmy.
Well, that's a good start.
What kind of
start? You could send her along to do some research.
Would you like her to wear anything in particular, Sir Jimmy?
I'd actually prefer her to wear nothing.
Right. So you want my assistant to meet you naked? Okay. Well, that's not going to be a problem.
I don't know if he actually said it. And I'm not going to look it up. Because I'm looking enough shit up. But I do believe it's true still. Even if he didn't say it. And what I'm talking about is the father of psychology, Freud. Sigmund Freud. I remember him having read him that he said, the things we joke about are the things we mean. Now, that's not true for all instances, of course. Some jokes are just jokes. Like, if ever, like when I was young, I made crass, racist jokes even. Absolutely, I did. What What's the sound of Hitler's motorcycle? Run! You know? It's just a joke. It doesn't mean anything at all. Another joke that doesn't mean anything to me politically. I just find it... And I can explain the joke afterward. Let's dissect the frog a bit. And then we'll dissect the frog for them. And we'll contrast it. The joke goes... Three nobles went to Africa in the 1800s to hunt animals. British nobles, of course. And while down there, they realized, you know what? Why don't we make it a competition? We'll take this week, a week. We'll see who hunts more animals. And everyone's like, oh yeah, that sounds amazing. I'm gonna be the winner here. So they sit down on the first night, and they go around the table, and the first guy goes, I shot a lion. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, that's good. The second guy goes, I shot an elephant. And everyone's like, that's very impressive, sir. Very impressive. The third guy goes, I caught two noppies. And I was like, oh, that's very interesting. But they're looking a bit weird. Like, what is a noppis? Oh, whatever. The second night comes along, and they go around the table again. The first guy goes again. Well, I'm not just one lion today. I shot a lion and 2 antelopes. And the second guy goes, I shot a lion, an antelope, and a baby elephant. And the third guy goes, 5 noppis today. And I'm still just clapping along, and nobody's... The third night comes, and they go around the same, and then they come to the third person. Again, he goes, today, I got 10 noppis. And they start, like, the other 2 guys squirm a bit, look at each other, and go, what is a noppis? And the dude goes, well, you know, they usually hide behind bushes, and they have this patch of hair on their head, and they jump out and go, no, please, no, please. Like, that's the joke. And it's a crass joke. But the reason I don't find this joke offensive or racist even is because it reveals, it doesn't diminish the African people. It actually diminishes the noble British people who don't see the human, so they call them noppis, like Pikachu, because that's what they say. No, please, no, please. You know? So that's what I find. Now, let's dissect the joke between these 2 men. What is the joke here? What is it saying? It is saying, I have so much power that I can make her do whatever I tell her. The joke is that she is my sexual slave. Do I think that she was that? I don't see why not. After everything that's come out, I would be hard-pressed not to believe that she was forced into sexual favors. And maybe, probably, not even just for Russell Brand. Because that's the joke. That's what the joke reveals. It's disturbing. So fucking disturbing. And if you hear someone joke that way, and you don't know them personally, because it's a different thing when you know someone personally. You're in a small gathering with just friends, you can be more crass. You can be more out there with the jokes because you know each other. You know what the other one is like. You know what the other one's politics are. You know stuff like that. You can contrast the joke with what they said. You know? The boss and employee relationship, that's not it. On the radio, that's not interpersonal and a small gathering. That's public. You do not get to make those jokes in public without it revealing who you are. To Jimmy Savile, it wasn't open, at least. I don't know if it was an open secret, but it wasn't out in the open when the show happened, because of course he wouldn't be. I don't think Russell Brand would. To be fair to Russell Brand, I have not heard allegations of him diddling small kids, just 16-year-olds, not small kids, okay? To be fair to him. Speaking to Dispatches, former BBC One controller Lorraine Hegesey boggles in retrospect at Brand's broadcasts. A predator, live on air on Radio 2. Previous entertainment industry exposés have largely concentrated on the 1970s and 80s, passing off the grim sexism of the late aughts as a distant bygone era is more difficult. The warning about not ignoring red flags and not indulging toxic behavior to prioritize talent or fame is a strong one. Yeah. Like I said, do not ignore the red flags of the rich and famous, okay? With acute relevance to a comedy world still riddled with misogyny, the only performer willing to be interviewed about the problem for Dispatches is Daniel Sloss. Daniel Sloss. I've seen him. I've heard of him. I've seen him in shows here and there, like a panel guest. I've never seen him. Who's already known for including serious oratory about male violence in his stand-up routines. Why work still needs to be done. Brand is not the only comedian whose alleged behavior is often described as an open secret in the industry. Is summed up by a female Dispatches contributor musing on women who might have embarked on a comedy career, met Russell Brand, then sought other employment. Culturally, what are we missing? Yeah, it's I did when I was more reactionary in my younger days, in your age actually, 10 years ago, I'm like, women can't stand comedy, like stuff like that. Like I didn't deny the women who were funny, but I like more men are funny. Why are more men funny? How many women have been ran out of the comedy scene due to stuff like this? How many women have been run out of higher education due to predatory professors? How many women have been forced into mediocrity, due to stuff like this? I got assaulted for the first time earlier this year, and after that, it's hard to stomach this stuff anymore, even as jokes. It's hard to fully understand until it happened to you, I guess. Damn, Scream Dude, I'm sorry to hear that. Are you male or woman or female? I do not know, actually. I've assumed you're male, but I don't know. Not to say you can't be male. And was the predator a female or a woman? I'm very sorry to hear that. Before I actually read your article, why don't I share my own predatory story? Okay, same situation as me. What is it? 2008, before the financial crash, I used to work at on a boat. I was a steward. Cleaned the room, the rooms, and the hallways. And I travel and I worked on Stena Saga, which is a boat that goes between Oslo in Norway and, was it Copenhagen? No, Frederikshavn in Denmark. To anyone in Sweden or Finland who are not aware of this boat, it's not surprising. It's quite expensive to be on the boat. However, for Norwegians, it's quite cheap. It's the Norwegian equivalent of a party boat. So every Norwegian, if you ask a Norwegian about the boat, everyone knows about it. So I used to do that, and for 6 months before the crash was felt by us and a lot of other boats, because this was a very profitable boat. A lot of other boats had to shut down, and they concentrated their crews on there. And I wasn't. I was last in, therefore I was first out, which is fine as such goes. However, when the summer ended, there was and they apparently did at least do this every year. As a thank you to the workers, they had a party. So everyone got on a bus and went to a remote location, and we had drinks and we had food and we had party and yada yada yada. The week leading up to this party, had been working in nights. So when I got off the boat, I was very, very tired. I tried to sleep on the way there, just like a few hours, not enough, and so I went to bed quite early. I think I was in bed at like 10, 11, something like that. And we shared rooms over there. We had 2 people per room. So I shared a room with another cleaner, with another steward, who's like a twink. That's the best way I knew he was gay. It was very obvious that he was gay. I don't know if it's relevant, but he was from Chile as well. I don't know. Might be. I have no idea. But very, 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 very gay. I didn't care. I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm not gay, so whatever. So I slept in the room with him. I was awoken a few hours later, and he was probably very, very drunk. But I was awoken by him stroking my cock on the outside of my underpants. But I was so fucking tired that what I did was that I rolled over. I rolled over to my stomach so that he couldn't get to it. And I fell asleep like that because I was so fucking tired. But I'm awakened again, and I'm guessing this is like a few minutes later. I have no idea. That's how tired I am. Of the exact same thing. And I rolled over again, but this time I couldn't fall asleep. And I kicked myself so long past that. I was so fucking mad at myself for not punching him in the face. I really hated myself for not doing that for a long, long time. But you shouldn't hate yourself for that. You do not know how you'll react in such a situation before it happens. Especially not under those mental circumstances where you're so sleep deprived that you have no idea what, like, all your body craves is sleep, you know? You have no idea how you'll react in those situations. So, anyway, I rolled over and I didn't fall asleep. It does suck. Absolutely. He does not facilitate any space in my mind. I don't think I could remember what it looked like. I could walk by him on the street and I would not know what it looked that it was him today. So that is hope for you at least. I had to lie there because I was paralyzed. I didn't know what to do, really. And it's like, it's so embarrassing as well. But he went to his bed. And I laid there and I had to listen to him because he started masturbating. Violently. Like, all I could hear was... No, sorry. Like, that's all I could hear for like... I don't know how long. Half an hour, perhaps? Then he went into the bathroom. And that's and he turned on the shower. I'm like, oh, thank fucking God he's not in the room anymore. So I packed up my stuff. And I left. I just left the room and I went into like a communal space that was there. It wasn't a hotel. It was like a conference location or something. So I sat there for a few hours, and you have no idea, Screen Green. You have no fucking idea how sick he is. This is just like there's a thing that I got knowledge of that just relieved some of my angst. Like, he is properly disturbing. Okay, we're getting to the really disturbing part soon. So when everyone else woke up, I went to my boss and I said, I need to talk to you. He's like, can it wait, please? And I'm like, sure. And I thought he meant like, can I just wake up a bit? And I'm like, of course. It wasn't like an immediate thing that happening right now. So sure, it can wait a bit. Why not? And then we were about to leave. I'm like, can we talk before we leave? He's like, can't you wait until next week when we're back at work? We had a week on, week off. So I was away for the half of the month, you know. And he wanted to wait an entire week. I'm like, no. No. We cannot wait. And I told him what happened. He's like, oh my fuck, I'm so sorry. Like, he thought I wanted to talk about work. I'm like, no, I want to talk about me and what happened, okay? So he realized, and he put us on different, because there were two buses that took us back to Gothenburg, where we were dispatched from. So he put us on different buses, thank God. And he made accommodations for the next week so that we didn't work together. And whenever I came across him in the hallways on the boat, because we were still working, we were still colleagues, unfortunately, my heart, like, I couldn't control it at all, and I just had to hide even, just so he wouldn't see me. That's what I did. I hid from him. We're getting to that. They had to do, and when I got home, I made a phone call to the police. I reported him, but I knew nothing. I knew already back then. Nothing's gonna happen with him. Nothing's gonna come from this report. I knew that, but I also knew that if I'm not the only one who has reported him or who will report him, maybe they can do something. If more people report and they can see a pattern in the reports from completely different people in completely different areas, in completely different times, you know, they can make a connection and say, you know what, there's enough here that something needs to be done. But just me, just this, no, nothing's going to happen. And during this time, we had like not the CEO, but someone higher up came there, and we had HR and yada yada. And then they called me in, the HR, my boss, and his boss. I'm like, can you tell the story one more time? Because I already told all of this to my boss at the conference location. And I retell the story almost word for word, you know? And my boss goes, yep, that's exactly what he said back then. So, And they go, did you use the shower at all? I'm like, no, I didn't even use the bathroom, I think. Not our bathroom. I probably used like a communal, but not our bathroom. He's like, okay. So you don't know anything. And here's the really, really disturbing part, which alleviated some of the angst that I had. Because I it's so funny in a disturbing way. There I go, okay, so you don't know anything about the broken shower drain. I'm like, no. So you don't know anything about the poo that was found in the shower drain. I'm like, poo in the shower drain? The only one who used the shower was him. So what he had done was, after he didn't get anything from me, he went into the shower and he took a fucking poo while masturbating down the fucking drain. But to answer your question, Scream Dream, no, he didn't get fired. And worse than that, I asked for accommodations so that we didn't have to work together. And they said, no, we can't do that. This is corporate. This isn't corporate America. This isn't corporate England. This is just corporate. This is global. This is every place. If you can't show a clear and present danger towards yourself, then they are not going to do anything to accommodate you. Because they said, oh, well, we can't accommodate everyone who has a dispute. I'm like, a dispute? Are you for real? And then I got canned later on due to the financial situation, not due to this though. Thank God. But yeah, so that is my and then it took me like and I think because I haven't been scared to talk about this at all. I think it's very healthy to talk about these things openly. I think it's good to tell the people in your immediate vicinity what has happened and what you're going through and why you're going through it. We've seen, I think in like Greece and Italy and those Mediterranean countries, when you have death in the family, for example, usually what happens is everyone in your immediate vicinity, every neighbor you have, every friend you have, every family member you have alive will come there and they will sit down and they will talk about the deceased one. And you will cry and you will sob and whatever. But afterwards, the more you talk about it, the more you talk about them, the easier it gets. And the more you do it first in a safe environment where you know that people will be receptive towards your feelings, the easier it will come to talk about it in the open. So that's my prescription. Talk about it a lot. Talk about it often, especially in the beginning. If you need, talk to a psychologist about it. But do know that the more you talk about it, the more distance you will get from it. It's like memories. The best memory you can get, the most accurate memory you will have in your life are ones that just pop back up. Because what happens that every time you think about something, every time you you talk about a memory you have, you impose current day feelings on it. And that distorts the memory into something else. And the next time you talk about it, you do the same thing and the same thing and the same thing. And every time it just gets twisted a little bit every time until it's so distant from reality that it's no longer true. But if you just remember something, like you haven't thought about when you were in 7th grade and you farted in front of everyone for 10 years, and then something reminds you of it, and you go, oh shit, that's so embarrassing. And you relive those emotions again. So talking about this stuff helps you to distance yourself from it. It doesn't mean the event necessarily gets twisted. It just means your emotion towards the events gets twisted. And that's a good thing. You do not want to hang strong emotions to these traumatic experiences. So I hope that helps, and I hope that helps you and anyone else who watches this. Remove yourself emotionally from the events, at least, because it does get better. It does stop being a problem after a while if you can handle, or not handle, but if you can emotionally deal with what has happened. But I think like the first at least 3 years, it was still very hard to talk about. Like I could feel my emotion. And I could still, like now, I could still feel like a little twinkle of an emotion of not anxious emotion, but of what do you want to call it? Not sadness, but just some emotional swelling, you know? We ended this. So thank you for sharing that, Screen Dream. Thank you. And I hope my words will help you in some ways. I don't expect you to talk to me about it, and I don't really think you should talk to me about it, honestly. That would be too much of a parasocial relationship. So talk to friends, talk to family, parents if you're on good terms with them. Someone. Let's see here. Donald Trump's tweet to Katy Perry. To Katy Perry, slamming Russell Brand resurfaces as star accused. Interesting. Distressing details. Former President Donald Trump's tweet to Katy Perry calling Russell Brand a waste has resurfaced as the comedian and actor faces rape and assault accusations he denies. Really? It's coming from Donald Trump. I don't know if it holds much weight. A tweet former President Donald Trump sent to Katy Perry has tonight resurfaced after allegations. Can I get the tweet perhaps? Or is it just... There. Katy Perry, what the hell were you thinking when you married loser Russell Brand? Oh my God. Even Donald Trump gets it. There is a guy who has got that. There is a guy who has got nothing going. A waste. Oof. I couldn't agree more. And I've thought that for a long time, actually. I've never found him very funny, you know? I've watched like half, if even, of a stand-up special. And it's just boring, loud noises. Katie, what the hell? Oh, yeah. Mr. Trump tweeted in 2014. And there's a guy, waste. The 45th president sent the tweet before he announced his run for the White House. Damn. Trump was really sassy back in the day. He's still kind of sassy. I mean, again, this is one thing that if you want to know if someone's a hack, if someone is just a partisan, if they're not honest, ask them. If they're a lefty, ask them, is Trump funny? If they can't admit that Trump is hilariously funny, sometimes, often, most often, unintentionally perhaps, but he is very funny. If they can't admit that, they are not looking with sober eyes on him. That is someone who's just hating him for being him. And in who would be the reverse? Ask a right winger if Bernie Sanders is honest. If he is an honest actor. If they can't admit that while disagreeing with him vehemently, they're just a hack. They're just partisan, you know. If you ask someone about Obama, I don't think Obama was honest at all. Biden, I think Biden is mostly honest. Obama is not honest. Clintons are not honest. Sanders, absolutely honest. Trump, hilarious and so sassy. Like if it wasn't for the current day, like if Trump was born today, there's no doubt that he would be like a drag queen, you know. It's funny though because Trump gets promoted as a tough macho guy by his fans, but he's got the personality of sassy gossip queen. Yeah. I can see the nails. I can see the poofy hair. I'm talking like this with the nails and the barn and this kind of noise, you know. Franny from is it just called Franny? The Nanny. Franny from The Nanny. Brandon Perry married in 2010 or 2010, but it lasted just 14 months. Perry said the split occurred when Brand ended things via text. A text asking her for a divorce moments before she went on stage to perform in front of a packed out crowd. Can you be more of a douche? Speaking about the relationship in 2013, she said, he's a very smart man. Sure. I mean, he's intelligent, smart, intelligent. Yes. I do think there's a very stark difference there. And I was in love with him when I married him. Let's just say I haven't heard from him since he texted me saying he was divorcing me December 31st on New Year's Eve. Oh boy. Following a joint investigation by Sunday Times and Channel 4 published by Brand has been accused of rape, sexual assault. He has said he absolutely denies the allegations against him and called them criminal. Oh, yeah. The allegations are criminal. Of course. Absolutely. 4 women came forward with the alleged claims, said to have taken place between 2006 and 2013. One woman said Brand raped her at his home in Los Angeles, allegedly against the wall of his home. The alleged victim said they were treated at a rape crisis center on the same day, and the comedian said he was very sorry for causing distress. I'm sorry, Brand. How did you cause distress that meant she had to go to a rape crisis center if she didn't do it? Or if you didn't do it. If you didn't rape her. A second woman says she was involved in a relation. This woman probably wanted to have sex with Brand. Sure, she probably wanted to have sex with Brand. But as with all rich, powerful people, they get their heads screwed over and they think, she's willing and consensual, so I can do whatever I want with her, and I can make the mascara run by throating her with my cock, you know? That's fine. That's fine. You need explicit consent for that, guys. It is fine to enjoy those things. Don't. If you enjoy that, that's fine. That's part of BDSM. But it needs to be explicit, and it needs to be explicitly consensual. You need to have, and this is my strong recommendation. Talk about it in text beforehand. Have it like when you're flirting on Tinder, or if you have Snapchat, or whatever you do, or Messenger if it's like a 60-year-old pensioner you want to fuck, okay? Whatever it is, have it in text. It is very, very important to have in text that you have discussed such actions. And during the act, take it slow, especially the first time. Ramp it up and listen. Be very, very as the dominant one. Be very, very not vocal. Be very, very receptive to the signals that the other person is giving you. Listen to the body language and do not continue longer than you need. If you do something and then you let go and the other person continues, marry that person. Go ahead. But it's very, very important that you let go and you allow the other person to display their interest in the acts. Yeah, these guys cannot comprehend being told no. Being told no to these people is an aphrodisiac. That is what they get onto, okay? That is how they get off. They enjoy the chase. They enjoy being able to have that power. So it's not just that they don't comprehend it. They like it. A second woman says she was involved in a relationship with Brand when she was 16, and he refers to her as the child during this period. She claimed on the Sunday Times that Russell forced his penis down her throat, causing her to choke. Again, not with a 16-year-old, but if it's consensual, it's fine. If it's not, do not, under any circumstances, do that. It's very easy. It's very, very easy, okay? Another woman said he was sexually assaulted. I'm guessing this is a typo. Another woman said she was sexually assaulted by Brand in an LA and that he threatened to call his lawyers if she went public with the claims. A fourth said she was allegedly assaulted by the YouTube guru and that he subjected her to both mental and physical abuse. In a YouTube video shared on Friday night, Brand denied the claims, saying, we've seen this, and I shouldn't be attacked, that I shouldn't be able to attack mainstream media narratives for the channel. What? I've received two extremely disturbing letters, or a letter and an email, one from a mainstream media TV company, one from a newspaper listing a litany. That's exactly the two, Sunday Times and Channel 4. Listing a litany of extremely egregious and aggressive attacks, as well as some pretty stupid stuff, like community festival. Like community festival should be stopped, that I shouldn't be should be able to attack mainstream media narratives on this channel. I'd like to see those letters. Publish them, Brand, if that is actually what they said. Publish them. What do you mean that I shouldn't be able to attack mainstream media narratives on this channel? Bullshit. I'm guessing that they said you shouldn't be able to deny those claims or blah, blah, blah due to, but be able to attack mainstream media narratives on this channel. Yeah. Sure thing. He added, but amidst this litany of astonishing, rather baroque attacks. Yep, we saw all this. No, okay, we see this. Whew. Katie, what the hell were you thinking? No, wait, I need to hear him. I need to hear Donald Trump. Can we get a sassy Donald Trump?
Thank you very much.
No, that's not what I want.
And I respect Mexico. I respect their leaders.
I respect Mexico. I respect their leaders. I did everything wrong and they indicted me. He also talks like this. Katie, what the hell were you thinking when you married that... Katie, what the hell were you thinking when you married loser Russell Brand? There is a guy who has got nothing going. A waste. Not the best, Trump. Not the best. It's okay. It's okay.
I know that there are groups set up by female comedians where they warn each other of comedians and agents, people in the industry who to avoid. And I know for many, many years that women have been warning each other about Russell.
Damn. Like, I know it's not his place to tell this story. So I don't, like, he's not the one who is, who's supposed to come out with this story just because he heard it. But being able to sit on that information for years, that can't be easy. That can't be fun.
I knew this man for 8 years and he fucking did it. There are monsters amongst us.
I hate Twitter. Like, it's just... Or X.
Man for 8 years and he fucking did it. There are monsters amongst us and they look like us. If you are sick of the narrative that is currently going on about men, feel free to change it, but you have to get involved. Don't make the same mistake I did for years, which was just sitting back and be like, well, I'm not part of the problem, therefore I must be part of the solution, because that's just not how this fucking shit works. I believe, and deep down I know that most men are good. Of course we are. But when 1 in 10 men are shit and the other 9 do nothing, they might as well not fucking be there. Being good on the inside counts for absolutely fuck all. You have to actively be good and get involved. Instead of having this fucking hero complex of being like, I'm gonna beat up a rapist, fucking prevent one, stop one, because I know it can be done, because I know how I fucking failed at it. Because if I'm being 100% honest with myself, were there signs in my friend's behavior over the years towards women that I ignored? The answer is yes. And then he raped my friend, and that's on me until the day I die.
Damn. Wait, did they used to be friends? Russell Brand. Finance. I don't want to see finances. Let's go 15. Might be might even be nope, not even there. I don't want the, so I'm just gonna get like the side. Let's go even further back then. We're not 8, so we appreciate that that the holding of hands doesn't mean 2 people are diddling, but we'd like an explanation for this picture. Shortly after nuzzling, who? Misha Barton, who now has a cold sore on her gob. That's very. Who's Misha Barton? Can I? Okay. On a night out in Camden, Amy Winehouse was photographed holding hands with Russell Brand's dad, Ron. How old is he? Really? Amy Winehouse and Russell Brand's dad? Ooh. Like Amy, I still mourn. The Amy Winehouse's Back to Black, is that what it's called? isn't it? The album. Discography. Back to back, yeah. I think this still. I know it got a lot of praise when it came out. But I think it's critically still today by regular people underrated. It is a fantastic album, and I think it has changed at least British music quite a lot. I don't think Adele would be able to be where she is today, or would have had the music she has today if it wasn't for this album. It is such a good album. If you haven't listened to it, do it. Not just the singles, which were plenty from that album. She had a vision. Her first album that she made was written by someone else. She wasn't allowed to do her things. She was a blues girl at heart, you know? But did she? Perhaps. And she was taking too early from us, of course. Uh-oh.
Is addiction weird?
What is this? Awakening with Russell? He has a second channel? Why don't we see what he said about Amy Winehouse? Who, should we be completely honest? Did he... 10 months ago. Okay. I want to hear old... I'm going to mute so that I don't get... She worked with Russell Brand here. The Russell Brand show. I mean... Is it like... It is highly, highly possible. It is easy to fall into the trap of drugs when you're being abused in the industry. Super easy to be. Like how many men physically assaulted, possibly, probably, likely Amy Winehouse, and drove her to drugs, drove her to desperation. I mean, look at Whitney Houston. How much was the abuse to be abused by other men, by powerful men, to including her husband, responsible for the drug use? How many great artists, great thinkers have been driven out of their respective industry, their respective fields, by powerful men, have been driven to drug use and addiction due to abuse at the hands of powerful men? How many? When I was younger, I thought, because we read about slavery and stuff in school, and I was like, wait a minute. How many men, or how much further in society technologically would we be if we allowed everyone to have a say, or to have like the same education and opportunities and not be slaves? How many Frederick Douglasses was lost due to slavery? I mean, the microphone. Wasn't the microphone invented by a black guy? Or the condenser microphone, perhaps? Like some amazing technology that we use as black inventor. Yeah, James Edward West. 90% of microphones used today are based on the ingenuity of James Edward West, an African-American inventor born in 1931 in Prince Edward's County, Vermont. Virginia? Yeah, every telephone probably uses his invention. So, like, how many of these guys were lost in time due to the hardships? Okay. I want to see what Elon Musk responded. Because apparently every chud and glorified leader with a cult of a personality needs to defend every other glorified leader with a cult personality. Tesla CEO Elon Musk expressed his support for Russell Brand as serious criminal allegations are set to surface and blah, blah, blah. The allegations against the forum after Russell Brand posted a link. Musk quickly voiced his opinion and came to Russell's aid, writing, "Of course, they don't like competition." Really? Musk in the tweet was referring to Russell's frequently challenging mainstream media through his popular YouTube channel with over 6 million subscribers. Rapists are gonna defend rapists. What can you do? What can you do? If they manage to go after Russell Brand for this, they're gonna manage to go after Musk for the things he has done, like offering a horse. Yeah. I want a horse as compensation for your sexual advances. Yeah. Absolutely. What the fuck am I gonna do with that horse?